Best player I've played with, I would probably have to go with Cold. Yeah, he's like super textbook, but like he was super consistent and really hardworking. So if I had to pick one guy, I'd go with Cold in terms of played with. And the best player I've played against, I mean, s1mple and ZywOo are like the easy answers, but I think Device is really hard to play against sometimes because like he's always there. You don't expect him, I guess, but it's hard to play against. Like, yeah, he's really on top of his game.
I want to say against because I think there's so many good players in my team right now that it's hard to pick. But the best player I played against is probably ZywOo still. ZywOo is, I think he's really hard to counter. He's really hard to know where he is at like when you're playing the game. If you gotta counter him with the entire team, and I think he's good at like reading the game while he's playing and clutching. So yeah, I think that's the best player I played against.
With ZywOo against s1mple.
Played with Tapson and against Tapson. I love him as a teammate. He's the best teammate I can imagine. He's so incredibly smart. He's so hard to play against, so I would pick him for both.
So playing with by far Device, he's a really solid player and he just seems to be really good at finding solutions, and obviously his individual prowess is just off the roof, so he's really good. But playing against is definitely ZywOo.
I would say played against is probably ZywOo, I would say. We have played against Vitality like a lot last year. I don't remember, I think it was like 18 best of 3 or something like that. You play against him all the time and you kind of feel it. And yeah, I would say him.
Against, I think it's easy answer, ZywOo. And I played with Electronic as a best player. He showed a lot of new tricks, a lot of nades. He always helps his teammates to improve. Yeah, he's doing a great job. He always has stable form,
The best player I play against need to be s1mple. I played against him, he was on fire. I played with him was, I think, Fallen, which is more, he was EGL, he was a very good individual player too. I think he was the most important player.
I think the best player I play against is s1mple for sure. Very difficult to play against. And the best player I play with was Cold0.
I would win a major because that's the entire team. Being the number one player doesn't mean exactly that you're winning tournaments and stuff. Of course, you'll win a couple of tournaments, but it doesn't mean like you're winning majors all the time. And I would rather win a major with the entire team and have that feeling as a team and then grind back from there.
Win a major, 100%.
I win a major. I'm a team player. I don't care about my personal rank.
Win a major by far.
Honestly, I would say win a major. I mean, of course, I would want to be number one as well. That's where we're all working really hard for. I think like the winning a major just would feel so good. Like you're in the history of CSGO, and I mean you're in the history if you're number one as well. But the major feels more like a accomplishment, and you're doing it with the people you like playing with. So yeah, I would say major.
I think I'd go with win a major. Like every competitive CSGO player's like goal and dream. I think number one is also like definitely up there as well, like as a goal and dream. But well, actually, if I had to pick now, I'd go with number one because I already have a major. So
I would better to win major. I was already number one ranked player, but I didn't win major yet. So better to win as a team first.
Yeah, I would prefer to win the major for sure. I put team's achievements ahead of my personal performance, so the major is more important for me for sure.
I would rather win the major. Much better to have team accomplishments than individual accomplishments.
I feel like s1mple and ZywOo, they fight about the number one spot. I can't say that ZywOo is the best player in the world. I can't say s1mple is the best player in the world, but they're up there, both of them. Even though ZywOo got it in HLTV, I still feel like that they're fighting about it. Like it's not 100% sure yet. I don't know who it is, but if it's s1mple, it's s1mple. If it's ZywOo, it's ZywOo. We'll see at the end of the year. He's highly likely gonna be as strong as he were last year, but it's a 50-50.
It's a close debate, and it's always really hard because, like in football with Ronaldo and Messi, it depends of your taste, it depends of all the things. I'm playing with ZywOo, and for me, he's the best. He does everything for the team. I mean, he's a fantastic teammate. He plays so smart CS. When you ask him to entry, he entries. He's a good soldier. He's doing clutches. He does everything. I think he's the most complete player, and that's why I make him the best.
It's actually simple because He's such a hard worker, spending all his time into this game. I think he definitely deserves it because of the amount of time he's putting into the game. That's it.
I mean, the reason why ZywOo was the best player in the world is mainly that he's just really good at everything. Like, his statistics just out of this world, and he just seems to be getting the most out of every single situation he drops himself into, even if it's a bad one. He's just a really solid player, great aim, great decision, seems to be a good teammate. So I mean, like, he's like, yeah, he seems to be the perfect fit. Like at least looking from the outside.
So yeah, I would say s1mple right now is looking really good, but of course ZywOo is always looking good as well. So it feels like it's just really close between those two.
I mean, HLTV says ZywOo, but honestly, it's kind of a toss-up. Like, s1mple's crazy, ZywOo's crazy. Like, I don't know. Like, it's probably me at this point. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. I think when LANs are back, it's going to be really fun to see like who is at the top then. Right now, the verdict is ZywOo. So yeah.
I don't know who. I'll let people decide. I will try better this year.
It's pretty simple with ZywOo. Just kidding. I think it's simple too. I think he's the best at the moment. But it's a very tight fight with ZywOo, and I think the way they differ a lot is because ZywOo is more of a spacer creator, and he's going to go first a lot of times, which makes it a little bit more impressive in my opinion. He's able to look more for the game than s1mple does it sometimes, but the magic that s1mple brings as well in some of the situations are just unique. So you have different ingredients for Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo as well, right? So I think that's pretty much the same for ZywOo and s1mple at the moment.